Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Saturday, July 30th, 2016 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I show for the flow. And today we have some shift going on. We just had Uranus go retrograde yesterday in the sign of Aries, so it's taking us back into ourselves, helping us tune into our inner currents. We have today Mercury shifting signs. Mercury is shifting from Leo into Virgo. So Mercury in Virgo has us working with mental energy. Mercury co-rules the sign of Virgo. And so when Mercury gets into Virgo, we can get very detail-oriented. We can get very fixated or focused. And focus is a really beautiful thing, but it's really going to be working about where we're focusing. And then we also have the moon shifting signs into Cancer. Moon in Cancer taking us into the dark of the moon, taking us into the time before the new moon. And moon in Cancer, moon rules Cancer, so it takes us deep into our emotions. So we've got some interesting shifts taking place. I want to go into the beginning of the day in that astro before I dive fully into all the shift, but we'll get into it. So we begin with the moon in Gemini. A cat doing something crazy back there. I'm not really sure what. Moon in Gemini squaring Jupiter in Virgo. So Jupiter in Virgo, we have been working for almost a year on getting into and enhancing the communication with our body. So the moon in Gemini squaring Jupiter in Virgo, we may have a little that action that we go through, once a month, where it's like, well, my brain says one thing and yet my body's saying another thing. I'm encouraging with this connection and with the shift of Mercury into Virgo to really listen to the wisdom that your body is offering. Over and over, I keep getting the message, we think we know so much. We are so funny as humans. We're like, I know best, I know best, I know better than that. And there's so much information that we're not tapping into. And so this just kicks off our day saying, hey, there's some wisdom in here that you've got to listen to. So listen to that wisdom that's coming up from your body because it has access to intelligence that we're not heeding the voice of. We then have the moon connecting to Venus. So moon in Gemini connecting to Venus in Leo. This is a beautiful, harmonious connection. The one thing is that it is at 22 degrees. The energy, which is that Uranus degree of evolution, revolution. So there's some kind of loving shift. And what's interesting is this is happening while Venus is still in Leo at 29 degrees. And so yesterday I said there may be a call to communicate love with the moon in Gemini, bringing up the communication energy, and then Venus in Leo, and then Mercury at 29 degrees through this. There may be a call for you to express your heart in a way. I'm getting the song, I Just Called to Say I Love You. There may be that energy. And like I said yesterday, a lot of times we hold back out of fear. A lot of times we hold back our feelings because we're afraid that it's not going to be reciprocated. And this is a call to be like, throw caution to the wind. Here's my cards. Look at these. I've got the trust card and the courage card. And just be willing to express your heart because it is, because it feels, not because you're expecting something in return. And that's a major evolution, revolution energy. When you can get outside, all the warnings of your mind and instead be like, this is how I feel and I just want to express myself. The moon will then connect to Uranus newly retrograde. This may actually give you some ideas of how you want to express your love, express harmony, express your light into the world. So, paying attention. And that may come, all this energy may come in the early morning hours. We then kind of move into, I do not know what he's doing back there. Mahalo. We then may move into kind of a void moon period as the moon prepares to shift into Cancer. Between the void moon period, which gets kind of sleepy, I usually take a nap during the void moon energy, and Mercury shifting, it may kind of feel a little bit mystical, a little bit woozy. Take it easy on yourself. Flow in the energy. Trust your energy because, I think during these shifts, it's a good time for information to come through as well. So we have Mercury into Virgo. And Mercury into Virgo, like I said, this can be a time where you get fixated or you can come to focus. And my encouragement with Mercury in Virgo, which we're going to have for a long time because Mercury is going to go retrograde right at the end. When it reaches the end of Virgo, it's going to go retrograde. So we're going to have Mercury in Virgo all the way through to the beginning of October. So this is more time to enhance your communication with your body, enhance communication with other parts of yourself beyond your mind. You know how to listen to your mind. Your mind is always talking, and chances are you're usually arguing with it. This is a chance to okay, you've said your piece. What else? What do you have to say? What do you have to say? What does my soul have to say? What do my guides have to say? Bring in communication from all the elements of you during this time of Mercury in Virgo. Virgo has this essence of presence, being physical, being present here in the body. But you've got to pay attention to really tap into that energy. And I think there's no mistaking that it's going retrograde, right? As Jupiter is going to be finishing up in Virgo. It's really important that we get into the messages and the wisdom of our body. Moon in Cancer takes us into the dark of the moon, and it takes us deep into the feels. And so this is part of being in the flow, is allowing the feels. This isn't about pushing the feels away. It's what are these feels? What are these feels telling me? And what's really true? So much of what comes with the feels is where our mind goes with it. So we have, strong mental energy coming up, and then we have this strong feeling energy coming up, and we have the moon and Mercury connecting. So it's really going to be about finding that balance and really trying to understand what's really going on beyond this energy. But trust the wisdom of your heart. We still have some really strong, beautiful Leo energy going on. And I pulled from my new deck, Spirit Speak, which I love. I pulled the Queen of Cups, which is like the Queen of Hearts. It's understanding from the place of love. It's understanding from the place of heart. It's receptivity to the flow. So find yourself in the flow of your love, in the flow of loving yourself. Besides that, we've also got the inner voice. Tune in. This might be a really good time with Mercury in Virgo to commit to tuning into your body, to tuning into the nothingness, the possibilities that your body is sending to you. And my other card that I have, very interesting card, I have the Shark card. And this is the card of instinct. And it says, take charge and move with conviction. Then it also says, which I really like, we're born with tools and dominant senses that help us get where we need to in our lives as individuals. So they teach us how to really hone in on our senses and ask for the element of trust and surrender. The shark asks, how do you feel? What is your body telling you? Literally, it says this in here. When we close our eyes and choose stillness in the dark. Close our eyes. Choose stillness in the dark. Where do we feel guided to go, and how will we choose to go there with conviction? They teach us the surrendering to the unknown path ahead allows us to rely on our innate gifts, to listen to our body. It has so much wisdom. Trust into your body and spirit on where is the easiest and best pathway will be when you to get what it is you seek. And I love this because I pulled the shark and I was like, I don't know if this goes with my message today, but I was like, okay, I'm going to be open because I pulled the card, I'm going to trust it. And then I looked and I was like, oh my gosh, how perfect is this? So that's it for today. Have a beautiful day. Book a reading if you want to dive in deeper into your chart, GaiaBlooming.com, or you can always email me at mimiclark@gmail.com, and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.